Microcontrollers have gotten so cheap you can make basically anything a smart device for just a few dollars, and it's surprisingly easy. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do that by showing you an example. So I have this air conditioner in my room, but it takes about an hour to actually get the room cool. So if I forget to turn it on until I'm trying to sleep... Okay, that was dramatic, but you get the point. I need the air conditioner to turn itself on without paying $2,000 for it. So how can we make this happen? Well, I happen to have this Raspberry Pi 02W, which is a tiny little computer with basically everything we need. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the ability to be programmed, a clock, and what I want to do is turn this little dial on the air conditioner between off, low, and high at different times. To do that, we'll need a servo. And the reason I have such a beefy one is because the dial on the air conditioner is actually moderately difficult to turn. And since I'm using such a beefy servo, I'll also need this power supply to power it. So the first order of business is setting up our Raspberry Pi, which is actually super easy. First, we take out the SD card and connect it to our computer. Then we download the Raspberry Pi Imager app, and then we can set it up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and open up the Raspberry Pi Imager. And then we can just go ahead and choose what device we're going to be working with, which in this case is this Raspberry Pi 02W. And then we can choose the operating system. Now, I don't really want a GUI interface. I'd like to keep it as lightweight as possible. So I'm going to scroll down here and select Raspberry Pi OS Other, and then select Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. And as you can see, it says it has no desktop environment, which is why it's going to be so small. It's going to be like 400 megabytes or something like that. And then we can, of course, select our SD card, click Next, and there's a few settings that we do want to set up just to make sure that everything is working properly. So first of all, we can set a host name. So I'm going to call this Smart, because it's going to be a smart device. And then we can also set a username and password. So the username could be smart and the password could be whatever you want it to be. I'll just make it smart as well, because that's obviously very secure. And then we can connect it to our network. So whatever your network name is, you could put that right here. Now you also want to go under services and enable SSH. That's very important because it means that you'll be able to connect to your device over SSH, which will allow me to, from say this Mac computer that I'm on, just go ahead and connect to that, program it over the air. It's very, very convenient. Now for the options, those don't really matter, so we can just go ahead and save that, click yes to apply those customization settings, and then all we have to do is let it do its thing. And just like that, we have successfully written our whole new OS, Raspberry Pi OS Lite, to our SD card. And just to show you guys what that SSH feature that I was talking about looks like, if we go ahead and put our SD card into the board, and then we go ahead and power the board, then it should boot up over the course of a couple of seconds. And what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to SSH into it. And what you want to do is you want to do the username, which for us was smart. And then you want to do the host name, which for us was smart.local. And we go ahead and click enter, and it's going to go out and look for that device. And once it boots up, it should go ahead and find it. And there we go. So now it's gone ahead and found it, and it's telling us that we've never connected to this device before, so are we sure we want to connect? We can just type yes. And then we need to actually log into the machine, because obviously we don't want just anyone on the internet to be able to connect to this little device and talk to it. So I'm going to enter the very secure password that we entered in the last step. And just like that, we are now running commands on this device. Now that it's set up, we can go ahead and wire up the servo. I'll connect the red and black wires to the power and ground of the power supply, and then I'll connect the white wire to one of the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. In this case, I'm connecting it to pin 12, which I know from the pinout, which you can find online. We also need to add one final wire from the power supply ground to the Raspberry Pi's ground so that they have a common ground. Otherwise, there will be noise on the servo's data line and it won't work properly. It took me like 5 hours to figure that out, so You're welcome. And now that I have everything wired up, I also needed two 3D prints. The first one is this simple stand, which the servo can sit inside, and it also has these little outriggers so we can make sure that when the servo turns, the stand doesn't fall over. And speaking of the dial, we also have this little adapter right here, which will have the servo on one side. You can see this little propeller arm thing. It's called a servo horn. It will fit nicely into this side, and then the other side is just a little bit bigger than the dial on the air conditioner, so it can go from the servo turning to forcing the dial on the air conditioner to turn. And now that I've printed both of these and written a quick program, we can go ahead and set up the final version. But first, if you're making a project like this and you need a custom 3D print or a custom PCB, you have to check out PCBWay. I've ordered from them multiple times and they've always manufactured exactly what I've asked for, and they've gotten it to me faster and cheaper than I would have expected. So check out PCBWay.com using the link below to make your next project your best project. So here I have the servo in its little stand with the adapter connecting it to the air conditioner, and the Raspberry Pi is of course controlling everything. So if I send a command from my computer, it should go ahead and turn it on. And just like that, we're controlling the air conditioner. Now that's just one example of how you can use a Raspberry Pi to make a device smart. And if you want to see another awesome electronics project, check out this video right here. I think you'll like it.